after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Throwing, Dalton. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Now Dalton. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here we go again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
On second down, here's Mixon. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 45-yard line.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that'll bring up second down. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels. I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. To throw on third down, Dalton. Bryant with a catch right side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. So Lamar Jackson in his 2nd season, the Heisman Trophy winner of 2016, leading the Ravens onto the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Jackson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Defensive starters, here they are for Cincinnati. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 42-yard line.
On 2nd down now, it's Ingram. Jesse Bates, who led the Bengals in tackles as a rookie, there to make the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up?
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Geno Atkins make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019.
This is caught inside the 15. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Dalton operating in the red zone now. His pass caught at the 4. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Dez Bryant, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for Mark Ingram there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Jordan Evans coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him?
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And this is incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. From midfield here, Dalton. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most are
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. It'll be a loss of 1, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Well, later tonight, we have more football. Sunday night football, a good one out west. Steelers and Chargers might see equal amounts of black and gold mixed with a powder blue in the stands for that one. And then tomorrow, Monday night football, Detroit and Green Bay battle in the NFC North from Lambeau Field. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 11 yards there, first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for, and it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
To throw here, Dalton. He'll let this. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Andy Dalton with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Back to throw. Mixon. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Mixon with a first down carry. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio that should ever be in any discussion.
On 2nd and inches, Jackson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Hands up, lady. 41's the mic. I'm on.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Andy Dalton now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando, we now proceed to the start of the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm. And we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to him, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
54. Watch the slant.
It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know that.
And now look at this, big gain, but a fumble, and the Bengals grab it. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
On 2nd and 9, Dalton. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
To try again after the sack. Dalton, he completes it to Boyd. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a first down. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 45 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go band of brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys continue to pour it on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. It seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Checking things elsewhere. 3rd quarter now from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. That one has really opened up. The Vikings have just scored again. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4 at the 36-yard line.
From the 36, Jackson, and he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
Looking left side, Andrews with it complete.
We got this.
8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. For Lamar Jackson, his first NFL start came against the Cincinnati Bengals November 18th in Baltimore of last year, and he threw for 150 yards, ran for 119 more as the Ravens won 24-21 to kick off what became a 6-1 final stretch that got him the AFC North title. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 2nd and 7, Jackson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 16 yards, a first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Jackson now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
After the penalty, it's Mixon, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off.
Check 41. Check tight end. Check tight end.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go. We got this.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Let's go. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Motion. Block.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. Extending the arm. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 4th touchdown on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point up and good by Bullock, and that will extend this big lead. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Nice big gain there from Marquise Brown, first-round pick out of Oklahoma. Of course, his cousin knows a thing or two about big catches in the NFL. That's Antonio Brown. And now Hollywood hoping to carry on the family tradition of solid production at the wide receiver position. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Jackson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Jackson, he's got it to Ingram, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. They go play action here on first down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well and it's picked.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the run, watch the run.
From the gun to give to Mixon. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Bengals on 3rd down. They've been outstanding. 7 first downs and 8 tries. This is 3rd and 9. So this one in the win column now for the